It may not come as a surprise to you when I say I don't love IDEs. I'm sure most of you roll your eyes and think, of course, some Vim neckbeard weirdo hates IDEs. What else is new? But I think I have a valid reason to dislike them, and it all boils down to one word. I will reveal that word at the end of the video, but first, to explain myself, I want to share a little story that backs up my dislike of IDEs. This story happened very recently at my day job. The names of the individuals involved have been changed to protect their identity, but this is a true story. Currently, I work as a Ruby on Rails API developer. Recently, my team and I were adding a new third-party integration to our application. And of course, whenever you add an integration to an API, you have credentials you need to store, think username, password, API keys, whatever. Thankfully, Rails has a great convention for storing credentials. I'll spare you the boring details, but essentially Rails has specially encrypted credential files, making it easy to store and edit your creds for any environment, local, staging, production, whatever. So with a simple command, Rails will unencrypt and allow you to edit these files, then re-encrypt them when you close. One of my coworkers uses RubyMine. Don't worry, he's a pretty great guy otherwise. And he was complaining to me that this third-party integration wasn't working on his machine. I double-checked and things were running fine on my machine, so I didn't understand what could be wrong. Either way, we hopped on a call to debug. To make a long story short, we found out he didn't have a certain credential in his file, but his environment wasn't complaining that it didn't exist. As it turns out, this is what happened. My coworker saw a line that referenced a certain key from credentials, and RubyMine noticed it didn't exist. So RubyMine offered a quick action to fix the problem. And as it turns out, this quick action created a new method in the actual encryption library for Ruby on Rails. RubyMine wrote new code in a gem locally installed on his machine to fix the problem. Of course, this didn't actually fix the problem, and the integration broke on his machine. But because of RubyMine, it took us longer than I care to admit to figure out what happened. And that story brings me to the word I think encapsulates all my issues with IDEs. That word is obfuscation. Now, a quick definition of the word obfuscation reads like this. Obfuscation is the action of making something obscure, unclear, or unintelligible. Clearly, obfuscation is not a good thing in programming. I love Vim and the terminal because I know exactly what is happening in my program at all times. I can open a new pane or a window to run commands. I can see my server running in real time, and the tools just feel a little more intuitive since I have such an intimate relationship with them. Wink, wink. I think IDEs obfuscate a lot of that stuff away. IDEs will automatically install plugins, have you click the screen to run commands instead of typing them in, and sometimes quick fix bugs by overriding libraries that are installed on your system. Either way, that's just one of the many reasons I like to stick with Vim and tend to ignore IDEs. Now, if you would like to see how I set up my Vim environment, check out this video next. And either way, thanks nerds.